Imagine a world aflame, nations entangled in a deadly dance of power and pride. This was the global stage in the early 20th century, a time marked by the first truly global conflict, World War I. In the summer of 1914, the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary set off a chain reaction. His death in Sarajevo was the spark that ignited the powder keg of tension that had been building up in Europe. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia, and the intricate web of alliances that crisscrossed the continent began to unravel. Germany, allied with Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia and France. The United Kingdom, bound by treaties to defend Belgium, declared war on Germany. The stage was set for a conflict that would span continents and claim millions of lives. The early stages of the war saw a rapid German advance into Belgium and France, halted at the Battle of the Marne. The Western Front then settled into a brutal war of attrition characterized by trench warfare. Meanwhile, on the Eastern Front, the war was more fluid, with the Central Powers and the Allies gaining and losing territory. The year 1916 marked a turning point in the war. The Battle of Verdun and the Battle of the Somme, two of the bloodiest battles in human history, took a heavy toll on both sides. These battles symbolized the futility and the human cost of the war. Meanwhile, the war was also raging on other fronts. In the Middle East, the Ottoman Empire was slowly crumbling under pressure from British and Arab forces. On the high seas, German U-boats were waging a ruthless campaign of unrestricted submarine warfare. The entry of the United States into the war in 1917 tipped the balance in favor of the Allies. American troops and resources bolstered the weary Allied forces, and by the autumn of 1918, the Central Powers were on the verge of collapse. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, an armistice was signed, effectively ending the war. It was a war that changed the world, reshaping borders, societies, and ideologies. World War I, a war of unprecedented scale and devastation, was a turning point in history. It was a war that saw the old world order crumble and a new one rise from its ashes. It was a war that showed the world the full horror of modern warfare, a lesson that, unfortunately, the world would have to learn again just a few decades later. The assassination that ignited the war, the stalemate of trench warfare, the bloodbath of Verdun and the Somme, the entry of the United States, and finally, the armistice. These are the key points of World War I, a conflict that shook the world to its core and forever changed the course of human history.